Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, welcome back to the Baseball Head. Hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. Took a few days off, if you don't mind. Took a few days off because we got the Super Bowl, and of course I'm recording this in the halftime. Don't care about the halftime. And this video will be going up after the game. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully people want to watch. I've been very quiet here. Like I said, I've been relaxing. Took a bit of a break. We'll have plenty of videos on here. Plenty of videos on the prospect hut. You know, we're getting close to on the eve of spring training, and that's going to be great. But there are still moves that need to be made, apparently. And one of the moves that's being mentioned on SI.com is headline: rival execs suggest Mets should trade Starling Marte to the Padres for Wandy Peralta. Why? Well, let's find out. Rival executives believe the Mets should revisit a trade for Starling Marte now that they've re-signed Pete Alonso. The Padres and lefty Wandy Peralta are viewed as a match, okay? Well, let's see. New York Mets tried trading right-handed hitting DH outfielder Starling Marte during the winter meetings in December. They discussed a deal that would have sent Marte to the Kansas City Royals for right-handed relief pitcher Hunter Harvey. But an agreement never came to fruition. The Mets would have paid down a portion of Marte's salary as well. Since then, there hasn't been any traction towards the deal. Before first baseman Pete Alonso came back, keeping Marte for his offense made sense. But the reality is that he's making $20.75 million at 36 years old to be a part-time player. That's the type of player teams would love to move because bench pieces typically come for a lot cheaper when it comes to roster constructions. Now, I would mention, this is a guy that was signed by Billy Epler. And we're starting to see some of the Billy Epler players are still kind of hanging around. He's one of them. With Alonso resigning for 2 years, $54 million, that's blew past their desired budget range and now project a luxury tax payroll of $324 million. This is the second highest total in baseball to only the reigning World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, who are at $376 million. If the Mets circle back on moving Marte and pay down his salary in a deal, they will likely save a significant amount of money depending on the return. So let's say they hypothetically land a relief arm for Marte that could potentially pay $10 million of Marte's deal and acquire a bullpen piece that is making $22 to $4 million. As mentioned, Harvey was on the table for the Mets, and the righty is making $3.7 million in 2025. The San Diego Padres are a team that comes to mind as a trade partner. Rival executives believe with San Diego cutting costs and needing additional outfield help that Marte, as part of a swap for a lefty reliever, wanted Peralta or a larger deal for a one-year rental starter, Dylan Cease makes sense. The Mets and Padres have already spoken about starters Cease and Michael King. However, the asking price for Cease is said to be astronomical in terms of prospects for an arm on expiring deal. But San Diego needs a left fielder after losing Jurickson Profar to the Atlanta Braves. Marte fills that hole, and the Mets could potentially take Peralta, who's making $4.25 million this season, and as player 2 player options for $4.45 million across 2026 and 2027. That's almost $15 million for those 3 years. Peralta is big stage tested, having spent 3 seasons with the crosstown AAA team of the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, from 2021 to 2023. He's coming off a year where he posted a 3.99 ERA in 46 appearances, was limited to just 4.1 innings in the second half after suffering a left abductor strain in July. Historically, Peralta has dominated left-handed hitters in his career, but they lit him up last season for a .260 average and a .762 OPS. Southpaw in a down campaign fared better against righties who hit through .215 with .654 OPS off of him. Acquiring Cease would stack the Mets' rotation, allowing them to match up better with the mighty units of the Dodgers and Phillies in the NL. However, Cease's one-year rental and the asking price for his services has been very high. I mean, another way to look at it is Corbin Burns. They got a starting shortstop in Ortiz. I believe his name is, and he played third base last year for the Brewers. So that's the price you're going to have to pay. And none of them at prospects are on the level of him, Joey Ortiz. So why not make a smaller deal with the Padres? Send Marte and cash to San Diego in exchange for Peralta, save some money, and add to the bullpen depth in Queens. Edwin Diaz, Edwin Diaz, AJ Minter. I'm not drinking. I swear to God, I'm not drunk. I'm not. Ryan Stanek and Peralta is a pretty strong and experienced back-end unit. Marte is still a productive hitter, but his salary is too high for a player that isn't going to be in the lineup every day anymore for the Mets. The team already tried trading him early in the offseason. It's something they should revisit now that Alonso's back. Both that lineup behind Lindor, Vientos, and Juan Soto. Now, here's the thing. Starling Marte is not an everyday player anymore. Okay? He has not played. I can't remember the last time he played every day. In 2021, he played for Oakland and he played for the Marlins, I believe. He did not play. Not the Marlins. The Diamond. Well, what? It doesn't matter. He did not play a full season. He only played 120 games. In 2022 for the Mets, he only played 120 games. And obviously, he played a lot less than that the last 2 years. And he misses significant time. He's a guy that does not heal fast. He's a very slow healer when he has an injury. He's one of these players that once he gets hurt, he stays hurt. And he was a lot of fun to watch, and he is a lot of fun to watch when he's healthy. Because he does so many different things. But his power is declining. Not that he had a lot of power, but the power is declining. He is a guy that really doesn't have a place to play. He's a veteran player. Mets have better players in the everyday lineup that are better than him. He'd be basically a platoon player at the DH spot, and once in a while fill in the outfield. He's not going to get even 100 games in this year. He'll get 80 games in at the most, 90 games. He's not going to break triple digits in games played. For a team like the Padres, it's the same thing. He's not going to play every day. But obviously, they have a need. And I would mention it would be nice if the Mets were to be able to, do something with this situation. But I would hope that they'll figure out what to do with Marte, because Marte has a contract that is not a great contract. That's the one thing about signing these big contracts to these older players, is that once these guys, and if they had injuries in the past, and they get hurt, this is the problem. This is exactly what the issue was with Pete Alonso too. Now, Pete's been a horse. He plays every day. Just using Pete as an example. But when he gets older, he's going to be having injuries. We've seen it with Brandon Nimmo, who's older. He's not 32. He's going to be 32 this year. And he had to deal with some ailments last year, obviously with the problem, the issue with his foot, in the playoffs. So these are the kinds of things you got to take into account when you sign a player that's 32 years old, 33 years old. Because at the back end of the contract, or even right away, he's going to be dealing with injuries. So everyone wanted to sign all these different big players. I want to get this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. Don't understand that you don't sign these guys just for the moment. You got to understand that they are human and they're going to get hurt. And he more than most players have gotten hurt a lot. But you let me know what you think about this video. Hope you enjoyed the game. And of course, I don't care who won the game. I don't care if it was the Eagles. I don't care if it's the Chiefs. I don't care. The Giants aren't in it. Although Saquon Barkley was in the game, I don't care, to be honest with you. But thank you for watching this video. And of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.